Alright, let's go everybody. We're here, back in Flight Simulator 2020. My boy FlyIsland guy. And you can see we're rocking the OG Orbit Airlines livery here on our King Air. That's a result of the latest update for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So really cool to see those liveries. Just kind of takes me back to those FSX days. Today we're in Downsview Airport in Toronto, and we are heading over to North Dakota today to drop off some glass. So we're continuing our OnAir tour. So already loaded up. Let's not do too much talking. Let's get started on the flight. One thing I do want to mention is that I have installed the Airport Regional Environment X mod. So as you can see, there's some different there's like a different I forget what this is called, a GPU card I think that is, and a different pushback card here. So I'm excited to see kind of what we see around the different airports as we move through North America. This update pretty much updates like all of the default ground equipment at the airports. So cool mod, make sure to check it out. I'll link it in the description below, description box below, sorry. But outside of that, let's get flying, y'all. Alright, so we're pretty much all ready to go. So I'm just going to turn our beacon on and get things started. Boom, boom. Let's start the right engine. In fact, since I'm in a rush today, we could just start both engines. So let's go do that. And yeah. So we're getting things started today. This is going to be a fairly long flight, according to our flight plan today. It's showing that we have enough fuel for 4 hours. So actually, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if 4 hours and 11 minutes is our like flight time, or if that's how much fuel we have total. But we shall see. The weather today here in Toronto, I couldn't actually get the weather for this specific airport, so I got one for an airport nearby. As you heard, we were outside. It was pretty breezy, so the wind today is 27 knots with gusts to 35 knots, so it's going to be an interesting rollout. Might experience a little bit of turbulence on the way out, but as long as we can get into the air safely, that is all that matters. I hate when this happens. These guys are very hard to click. There we go. And this guy as well. Boom. Taxi lights will come on. The tail flag will come on. Temperature it's not too cold today. But I'm going to turn on the pitot heat, and we will turn on the any other de-icing measures as needed. Flight plan is already locked and loaded, and even cleared up to 30,000. So let's go ahead and put that in. So since it's gonna be a fairly long flight, I said let's go up a little higher today. All right. So I am ready to go. We've been given runway 33 for departure today, and according to Navigraph, that is going to be, it's kind of behind us, so we will go into the grass here since we're already sitting in the grass.
OnAir started tracking automatically. Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Okay, that sounds different. Oh, I guess it's because they didn't start the flight tracking. Oh shoot, totally went the wrong way. So I have to turn around. Alright, so runway 33 is actually on the other end. That was my bad. It's kind of weird how they have this set up. So I'm just gonna try and taxi in beta mode for now. That'll just kind of save me having to ride the brakes. A beautiful morning here in Downsview. Let's see the Toronto skyline in the distance. It's going to be an interesting takeoff, I could imagine. We're pretty heavy, and the wind is really strong, and it's going to be blowing directly in our face. So, hopefully that means we'll be able to take off quicker, but who knows. Wasn't in the mood to use pilot ATC today. So we're just kind of doing the usual, setting up a flight plan and just following it. All right. So let's line up on the runway. So we'll be doing the down to departure out of Downsview today.
Oral warning, okay.
And as I mentioned before, we're climbing straight to 30,000. So let us turn off the taxi lights, landing lights on, strobes on, and set our flaps for approach. And let's go.
Airborne time log.
Gear up. This feels like we're struggling to climb today. Alright, just gonna set my pitch. Let's go yaw damper on and autopilots. Go into nav mode, flight level change mode. Let's go for 170 knots today. Scenery's looking awesome, and we're icing up a ton, so let's get all this on. All right. So overall, it's been a nice, smooth departure. Hope everyone's been doing well. I am doing great. Just glad to be back in the cockpit today. So we are heading over to North Dakota. So yeah, we're heading over to North Dakota, to be specific, Grand Forks International. And as I said, we are continuing our North America tour, where we are going in an entire 360 from, we started in Bahamas, we made our way up the East Coast, we went all the way over to Newfoundland, then we came back to Quebec, down to Ontario, and now we are on our way over to North Dakota. So now I'm really looking forward to the West Coast. I haven't flown to the West Coast at all, ever in any simulator. So I'm hoping we could see BC, maybe see what's going on in California. But we'll see where our jobs take us though. Orbit Airlines livery is beautiful, man. Looks really good on the King Air. I'm also liking the visuals. They seem extra crisp and clear today. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I haven't done one of these runs in a little while. I don't know, but I'm liking it. Alright, so we're just gonna do the climb out, folks. Like when I come back, we will be in cruise, so I'll give you an update there. And I keep forgetting to start the timer. Always forget to do this. It'll just give me a better idea of like where we are in the flight time wise. But let's give or take, I don't know, 10 minutes. So let's add 10 minutes on to whatever the time gives us, because that's about how long we've been traveling for. But as I said, I'll come back when we are at our cruise altitude and just give an update, and I'll talk to you guys then. Alright? This is FlyIsland Guy. Check you when I get back. So what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back. So just checking in on the flight so far. We've been flying for roughly about an hour 45, hour 50 minutes or so. Let's see where we are. Let's go up to the cockpit. Let's just get a quick look. So we are about halfway through our flight. So we're on the kind of second last major leg of the trip. So while I'm here, I'm going to just check the weather over in Grand Forks International just to see how things are looking over there. And it looks like right now the winds are out of the south at 14 knots, and temperature is about 4 degrees C. We have 10 miles of visibility. Ceiling is at 12,000 feet, and there's no clouds under that. So really good weather. It's a little breezy over there, but it shouldn't affect us too much. So based on that, we haven't actually programmed an approach into Grand Forks. So let's open up Navigraph and let's see what's available there. I had it open. It looks like I closed it by mistake. So in Grand Forks, take a look. So the winds are, as I said, out of the south at 180. So probably means that we should be doing runway 17 landing. So let's see if there. Strangely, there's a 17 right. But there's not a 17 left. In fact, there's not a right and left for a bunch of runways, which is sort of odd. I don't understand that, but so let's go and take a look at the actual airport itself. Okay, so we'll be doing 27 right. Okay, so there is a 27 left. I don't know, unless these are closed or something, or you can only answer from one way. I'm not sure what's going on there. So it says 9 right, 27 left, 17 left, 35 right, taxiway seat not available for scheduled air carrier operations with 10 or more passenger seats. And then it's not available for unscheduled air carrier with more than 30 passenger seats. And it's closed when the tower is not interesting. Okay. So alright, seems to be a lot going on at this airport, but well, we will do the 27 right approach, and looks like we have 3 options: localizer, back course, RNAV, and VOR. So you know me, I like to keep it simple, and the weather is good enough, so you should just do the RNAV approach. Although I'm curious about this back course one. I've heard about it before. I heard it's kind of like ILS approach, but you don't have, I think you don't have like the glide slope, I believe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really too sure apparently how that works, but anyway, I was curious. So we're going to do the RNAV approach. So let's go inside here, procedures, and approach. RNAV 27 right. And our transition will be interesting. Just checking here. Okay. We could do this one. I don't know how to pronounce it. EWIS transition. And we'll load that. They'll probably have us coming from the north. A little bit. Oh. I don't like that. Okay. What about... I'm just gonna try a couple of them and see what happens. That's weird. So it's like all of them have us going over the airport first, which is a little frustrating. We could try the third one. Oops, procedures. God is doing something weird, so I think I might just stick to the first one because that looked the least weird out of all of them. Of course, if we had ATC, then ATC would have kind of told us what to do, but we'll load this guy for now. And we can try and edit the flight plan so we don't go to KGFK first, or GFK. So I think this is what the issue is, so let's try and remove this. Yeah, I removed it, but it still kind of has going that route, which is fine. It's not a big deal. All right, so we're now 196 nautical miles out from, I believe it is Hib. So this guy. So yeah, we have a pretty good amount of time left on this flight. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go on another break, and when I come back, we'll be starting our descent into Grand Forks International. But before we go, let's just have one last look at the Orbit Express livery. Orbit Airlines livery. I just love how it looks. I'm not even gonna lie. And I love how it kind of shows off the rivets, or the rivet side on the cell, on the engine. I love it. It just looks cool. I didn't want to be rocking this one for a while. Alright? So as I said, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be on our way to landing in North Dakota. So looking forward to that. Take care. Peace. And we are back. I am descending now into North Dakota. We are probably at around 17,000, 16,000 feet now. And we are about to shoot the approach into Grand Forks International. So I know for sure that I'm most likely going to get dinged for the amount of reserve fuel. As you can see, we're pushing the boundary a little bit. I thought I had put enough fuel in there, but shouldn't be an issue. We should still be able to get the plane down and land it safely. Currently 27 nautical miles outside of Iwas, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce that, which is our initial approach fix. Oops. We are at close to 12,000 feet now, so I was way off. And unfortunately, I kind of miscalculated our descent, or when we had to descend. So I'm descending at about 2,300 feet per minute right now, which is a little more than I'd like to, but that's where we have to descend at to reach our altitude of 2,800 feet. Overall, it's been a pretty uneventful flight. We haven't had to worry too much about turbulence either, which, as we've learned from previous videos, like turbulence does affect the integrity of like your fragile cargo. So, one sec, landing lights on. So we're nearing 10,000. Yeah, so turbulence does affect the integrity of your fragile cargo, so I guess that's a way of OnAir sort of punishing you for flying into dangerous weather. But sometimes you just can't avoid it, right? Even on a clear day, when you're going over the mountains, you start hitting turbulence, so it is what it is, but today it's been all right. Yeah, I don't have too much else to say. Just honestly looking forward to getting the plane on the ground now. It's been a pretty long flight. But the good news is that once we land, we will be crossing over that $1 million limit, which I'm excited about because I didn't realize that I'll be able to hit it kind of this fast into our North American tour. I thought it'll be kind of on our way back to the Bahamas when we finally get there, but no, we are within touching distance now. I think this particular flight will be bringing us about 111,000 credits, and then when you deduct can't talk. When you deduct the rental fees and all that kind of stuff for the aircraft, it should be about 100,000. But either way, it's going to push us over. It's going to push us over 1 million credits, which I'm absolutely stoked about. As I told you before, my main aim in OnAir right now is to get out of the turboprops, buy a jet, because that's going to increase the amount of money that we can get. It's going to increase the distance that we can fly. It's going to shorten the amount of time that we're flying for. So it's pretty much all wins overall, and I also just want to earn something. Like I don't feel like renting anymore. Even renting the King Air right now is about, I think it's something like $3,000 to $5,000 an hour. So it's pretty pricey, and it adds up. So the only thing I want to have to pay back right now, or pay right now, is my my bank loan. So I'm gonna probably have to get a bank loan to purchase an aircraft. But we'll see though. We'll see how much money I could build up by the time we finish up here. We're only about halfway through this North American tour right now. We're still kind of on the northern side of the United States, and we still have to kind of wrap around the west side and come back along the south of the United States before we end the North American tour. So interesting stuff, you know what I mean? Alright, so we are at 2800 right now, and we should be making the turn soon towards the initial approach fix. Looks like my flight plan did edit correctly, so I didn't have to do any crazy loops to get there, which I'm happy about. Let's hop outside and let's get a quick view. This scenery is looking awesome. And I'm really pushing it with this fuel right now. I can't believe it was this close. I thought I'd have a spare, like a good amount of spare fuel when I landed, but I guess not. So I basically have the plane at idle right now because I'm trying to use up as little fuel as possible. But I can't do that for too long. Alright, starting our turn. So as discussed before, we are going to be landing on runway 17 right. So all of that should be happening fairly shortly, I could imagine. So we're less than 4 nautical miles away from our initial approach fix, and then it's probably actually, let me look at the map. It is 10 nautical miles to Erba, and then from there it'll be 6 nautical miles to Jamking, and then we'll be landing from there. So very quick segments coming from here. So I've only heard about North Dakota and seen it in movies and TV shows, and I know that it's very rural out here. And people talk funny. that's about all I know though. But I'm actually surprised that throughout all of my trips so far, I haven't been routed to any of the kind of major airport hubs, and I'm not sure if that's some kind of setting in OnAir or what. But it's been a little surprising. Okay, we've crossed our initial approach fix. And in the next few minutes, we'll be making a right turn onto final. So as usual, I'm going to make sure I have my reverse thrust locked and loaded and ready to go. I will not be landing the King Air without it from now on. After what we experienced in Newfoundland, it's definitely worth it to use it. Probably should have been using it all this time. But I guess it might be because it's like the default King Air, why it's not performing 100% well. Like, I know right now it seems to like taxi way too fast and stuff, so I don't know what's up with that. Alright, 5 nautical miles out. We had 3 nautical miles. Now this whole area, this whole airport is pretty brand new. It's brand new to me. I have no idea where I'm going. Never been here before. Just gonna double check the airport layout one more time, just to see where we should be going. It looks like we'll be turning left off the runway once we land, and That's where all the parking is. All right. Going to arm the approach. Airport should be straight ahead. Man, I'm loving this livery. I don't know why I like it so much. So I always thought it was kind of like crappy in FSX. It's pretty cool. See like a little windmill down there. Awesome. Yeah, that's cool, man. Little town down here to the left. Don't know what town that is, but
Landing here. Landing here.
all right, airport straight ahead. Capture the glide path, I see.
Landing here.
Gonna go full flaps and gear down. Sorry, it's 27 right, not 17 right. I was reading it wrong. Okay, well, it's still to the left is where we gotta go to get to the terminal. So this runway is actually fairly short. It's about 4,200 feet. I should probably be careful with how fast I approach.
Wind 190 at 9 knots.
Low. Actually, I'll turn off autopilot. We can see how short it is.
Landing time log.
Oof. Okay. Gonna turn off our landing lights and our strobe. Felt like I landed on an aircraft carrier just now. End of the runway came up really fast. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to North Dakota. Alright, so it looks like we turn right here. Alright, if you notice as well, as I mentioned before, I have Airport Regional Environment X installed. So, like, some of the ground services may look a little different, and we'll probably see this kind of better. We'll probably see this better with when we reach kind of a bigger airport. But yeah, we're definitely gonna get dinged for our fuel. We basically have next to none left. In fact, our fuel warning just came up, so I'm just kind of taking my time taxiing right now. Just kind of taking a look at the airport. But I am going to I actually want to come by the plane here and see what that's dealing with. But this is the airport here, Grand Forks International. Alright, so we'll park kind of straight ahead. There's a Flybe A320 right there getting serviced, which would not be happening. Oh, looks like our engine just died. Just in time to get to the gate. Well, oh, had a little freeze there just now. All right, so we landed just in time. Alright folks, so
Engine off time log.
we are here.
Flight
Definitely
is
gonna
finished.
get
It has been monitored by OnAir.
we're definitely gonna get dinged for that run out of gas. That's not good, but we have landed. And I think we're also gonna get punished for having our lights on when we turn the engine off as well, but I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so cool. Let's head over to OnAir. Not too bad actually. Yeah, so we got dinged for the fuel. Said the engine was on at track and start, which, yeah, I actually forgot to do that. It automatically started tracking the flight. But I mean, we still got a 4.04% reputation increase, so you know, all is well that ends well, I guess. Cool. So if we come over now, we go home. Boom. We hit that magic number, folks. 1 million credits. And I am happy about that. Alright. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the flight. And I will catch you on the flippity flip. Be sure to check out my other videos. And also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you all later. Alright? Take care and peace.